Speaking of grilling, I think we've got the. Is this entitled the best fall grilling recipe? Is that what we're talking? Do we have Scott on the phone here?
Yes, we do.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful. This is Scott from the Grillin Fool website, isn't it? Grillinfool.com, is that right?
Grillin Fools, plural.
Fools. Grillin Fools, okay.
More than one of you.
Yeah, my dad and my cousin are the other two. There's three of us.
Okay, so what's cooking for fall? What do you think is your idea of the best fall recipe?
Well, I just kind of spent the last few weeks creating it, actually. I started playing around with what I called it now is apple pumpkin ribs.
Apple pumpkin ribs.
Yeah, it's kind of a pie thing. It was inspired by the pumpkin ales that are available now.
Okay.
That come out in the fall, and so I try to capture what I get out of those beers that they love in the ribs.
Okay, well, tell us how you do it.
Well, first of all, I marinated the ribs in apple cider, and not just the regular apple cider you get all year round, but that good, thick, dark stuff you get this time of year.
Right.
And just enough in the bag to cover the ribs.
Oh, wait. What kind of ribs are we talking about?
These are baby backs, but you could use, spares or country style. But baby back is my preferred rib.
Okay.
So baby back ribs, apple cider, a couple heaping teaspoons or tablespoons of garlic, and maybe half a cup of brown sugar. Put that in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
Now, the first time I tried this, I tried to come up with this, and I failed miserably. I actually marinated them in the actual pumpkin pie filling, that orange stuff in the can.
Okay.
Oh, man, it was just a big orange mess.
Okay.
So I stepped back from that.
I might have done that, though, y'all.
So I stepped back from that, and I realized it's not really the orange stuff that you want from a pumpkin pie. It's the spices. It's the cinnamon, the clove, the ginger, the allspice.
Okay.
And that all comes together in something called pumpkin pie spice.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah, kind of simple.
I was grinding up whole cinnamon sticks. I was
That's
putting
what I'm
in
talking
whole
about.
cloves.
Oh, who told you about the fact
It's a
that
labor of love, Scott.
But you know what I did? I overdid it, man. I overthought it. I tried it out on my mother-in-law and father-in-law. God bless them. They were horrible.
Oh,
The ribs, not my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
They smacked you around a bit.
Okay.
But so what I did is I just stepped back and just took it, made it simple. I took equal parts the apple pie spice, which you can buy pumpkin pie spice, which you can buy at any grocery store.
Right.
And granulated garlic, and you can use, regular garlic powder if you wanted.
Okay.
Equal parts that, little black and white pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And my second round of guinea pigs were some guys that came over to watch Monday Night Football, and they tore through them so fast.
Well, that's because it was just part of the whole thing there. When you're in the cave cooking, it's easier.
Yeah. No.
I guess, yeah.
That's a true test, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Your buddies will let you have it.
So
if it
you just
doesn't taste
marinate
good.
this overnight, you put it all together and marinate it.
Yeah, well, no, the spice, when you pull them out of the marinade the next day, rinse them off, or pat them off, just pat it dry, and then apply the rub, and then I put it on a grill indirect and smoke it for about 2 hours.
Let's tell everyone again, indirect. What do you mean by that?
I get charcoal on one side, nothing on the other, okay? So the heat's on one side, and then I put the ribs on the side that's nothing. So they cook indirectly. They don't take direct heat, so it's slower and it's at lower temperatures than, say, you throw a steak right on top of a coal, whereas you do a brisket or pork or pulled pork or ribs off the heat.
Okay.
And so I got up to about 275, and I go for about 2 hours. And a lot of people out there are all about 6 hours for ribs or all these different methods, and I'm telling you, 275 to 300 for 2 hours in baby backs, and they come out just perfect.
Well, after 2 hours of the pumpkin beer, you're ready to eat.
Well, yeah. A couple of pumpkin ales go with it pretty well. and of course, you got to use apple wood to smoke it, so, to kind of to round out the theme.
Okay. So the apple wood.
Well, that sounds good.
Now,
really good.
Where do you get your apple wood from?
All over. There's a couple of different places in town that sell.
When did you stop chopping down apple trees?
I never have, actually.
We just thought it was the same process. You did the pumpkins, and then so we thought maybe you found an easier route.
Okay.
I do have some a relative that lives out in the country. Actually, my cousin Tom is one of the other Grillin Fools, has some friends of his that have chopped down trees in the past, and we're getting some apple and some peach from them right now.
Oh, you really are.
Which is great because it's a lot cheaper than smokewood. Not cheap, I'll tell you.
Do you know that was the best pork that I ever cooked before? I tried growing peaches organically here in Houston, and it's very difficult to do. And after about 6 years of beautiful blossoms and beautiful flower arrangements and 3 peaches, I decided that the tree would be better to put to a different use. So I chopped it down and used it for one of the best pork roasts I've ever done.
I'll tell you, that's my favorite smokewood is peach.
Really?
Hands down, it's my favorite.
How funny.
Well, yeah, mine ended up being that way just because I couldn't grow peaches. But I guess I don't know if I would have ever thought about it if the peaches would have made it, but who knows. Anyway, so that sounds great. So
that sounds delicious.
And this is how many more times will you be going through these ribs this fall?
Actually, Dad and I are doing them tomorrow.
Okay, good, fantastic.
What time are they going to be ready?
Yeah, we'll be there. Okay. Now, I understand that you got some kind of, and I could be wrong here, but some kind of pig candy. Is that it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Do we have to? Yeah, you know what? We got time for this. Can you tell us about pig candy?
Well, if you have cholesterol issues, this may not be the right thing for you. But
well, let's pretend I don't, and we're going to hear about it anyway.
It's basically starts off with bacon, and bacon's just amazing.
Yes,
it is.
Okay.
And I take bacon and I slice it in half and put it on just a piece of tinfoil.
Okay.
And I take a little brown sugar and I put the brown sugar a little bit, maybe half a teaspoon on each slice, and I take the back of the spoon and I spread it out just evenly over the bacon.
Okay.
And that's it. Take the tinfoil, put it on the grill, again indirect, for at 250 for maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, it's not going to become crispy bacon. It's just once it gets cooked and it'll be a little chewy. If you go for crispy, the sugar burns up and turns black. It's still good, but it looks horrendously bad. And I know this because the first time I did it, I screwed it up and cooked it way too long.
Yeah, I get the funny feeling that you've learned your cooking in the same way I learned some of my landscape architecture. It's after you do things wrong long enough, you become an expert because you've got you got that process down.
And that's kind of the point of the website is that we've screwed up a lot of food in our time and made a lot of mistakes. And hopefully we can show people here's how to do it without making the same mistakes we did, and have to deal with the poor family members and friends that had to eat whatever we screwed up at that time.
And on your website, you actually show how this stuff is getting done, don't you? It's not just a matter of a few words and a little bit of talking. You're showing the process all the way through.
Yeah, that's the other point of the website. If you go out and buy a grilling cookbook or even any kind of cookbook, there might be 300 recipes in there, but you'll be lucky to have 100 pictures.
Right.
You'll be lucky to have one picture of the finished product, where we do a picture every step of the way, so that you don't. If you're halfway through the process and you're like, man, this doesn't look right, you'll be able to you'll know whether you're doing it right or wrong. You'll be able to say, hey, look, here's a picture of this pork roast, an hour into the process, and it looks just like what we like they did there. So we're going well.
Okay, great. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to we've got the pig candy going. We got those the apple pumpkin applewood ribs. Sounds like it's time for me to
eat lunch.
Go to the doctor and get my blood tested here. Yeah.
Yeah, this particular Grillin Fool spends a lot of time in the gym to compensate for what I spend next to the grill.
Okay.
Well, it's a good time to think of recipes too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna have these. We'll get these recipes on our website and also get a link going over to yours for all the folks out there that realize that we're finally getting cool here in the Houston area. It's time to be out there and grilling away. So appreciate your time this morning.
No problem. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Okay, Scott. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. There you go. You might want to check that out. GrillinFools.com. Great website for all of the wannabe grillers or those that just want to have some fun listening to some of the predicaments he's got himself into cooking outside.
Well, it is nice to see that somebody's already done the